Have you ever imagined what it will feel like going on a journey to a place you only heard of in stories? No assistance from anybody, no direction given to you, just you, your fate and your destiny. If you missed the Diary of the Flutist Part 1, please try to watch it as it will make you understand the story more. On today's story, we have the Diary of the Flutist Part 2. Awele's father gave him a beautifully crafted flute, the Ezoja, that was given to him by the then king of Umeri, telling him it was not just a musical instrument, but a symbol of his rightful place as king of Umeri. The flute was made of gold and adorned with intricate designs. Its melodies were said to be enchanting and could only be played by the true custodian of the flute. With the flute carefully wrapped in a cloth, Awele set out on his journey to Umeri. The road was long and filled with various challenges, but he was determined to reach his homeland and claim his birthright. As he traveled, Awele faced numerous obstacles. The terrain became rough and unpredictable, with dense forests and steep hills. Despite these difficulties, he pressed on, knowing the importance of his mission. One day, while crossing a lonely path in a small village, Awele was met with an unexpected challenge. He was suddenly and violently attacked by thieves. They targeted him with the intention of stealing his valuable possession. The thieves managed to take away the flute from him. Awele was left devastated and shaken from the experience. He wondered how he would complete the mission he already started. His father had told him that the flute will guide him and the sound of it will speak for him. But now that the flute is gone, what then is his fate? Awele searched for local securities and reported the incident to them. They promised to help him out, but after their efforts, the flute was nowhere to be found. He felt a deep sense of despair as he realized that the precious symbol of his claim to the throne was gone. Determined not to give up, Awele continued his journey, hoping he could find another way to prove his identity. As he traveled from village to village, he asked people if they had seen the flute, but no one had. His heart sank further with each negative response. His journey grew increasingly difficult as he struggled to convince people of his true identity without the flute. In every village, he was met with skepticism and doubt. His lack of the flute made it hard for him to gain support and trust. Eventually, Awele reached a small village that was known for its traders and craftsmen. He hoped that someone there might have seen the flute or know where it might be. He visited the market where vendors sold various goods and artifacts. Awele inquired about the flute to the traders and merchants, explaining its importance. He learned that a flute matching his description had indeed passed through the village. According to the trader, a stranger had come through with the flute and claimed to have found it. Awele followed the leads given by the traders and learned that the stranger had sold the flute to a nearby town. His heart sank, but he knew he had to continue his search. He thanked the traders and set off towards the town where the flute had been sold. The journey to the town was not an easy one, as you will have to cross a big river by boat. But Awele remained focused on his goal. When he arrived, he discovered that the town was bustling with activity, and many people were unfamiliar with him. He began asking around about the flute, describing it in detail to anyone who would listen. After several days of searching and questioning, Awele found out that the flute had been sold to a collector who lived in a neighboring town. The collector was known for acquiring rare and valuable items. Awele knew this would be his next destination. He traveled to the neighboring town where he found the collector's residence. It was a grand house filled with various artifacts and treasures. Awele was nervous but determined as he approached the collector. The collector welcomed Awele and listened to his story. He explained the flute's significance and his rightful claim to it. The collector was amazed by Awele's story and agreed to help him. He revealed that he had indeed purchased the flute from the stranger but had recently sold it to someone from Umeri. Awele was both relieved and anxious. He thanked the collector for his assistance and set off towards Umeri once more. His journey back was filled with hope as he knew the flute had returned to his homeland. When Awele reached Umeri, he sought out the person who had bought the flute. He learned that the flute had been sold to an elder in the village who was well respected and had a deep understanding of Umeri's history and traditions. Awele approached the elder and explained his situation. The elder listened carefully and, recognizing the truth in Awele's story, agreed to return the flute. The elder understood the importance of the flute and how it symbolized the rightful king. With the flute in hand, Awele felt a great sense of relief and joy. He played a melody on the flute, and this enchanting sound filled the air. The people of Umeri gathered and recognized the tune, knowing it was a sign of their true king's return. Awele was welcomed back with open arms, and the people celebrated his arrival and the return of the flute. They acknowledged his perseverance and determination in reclaiming the symbol of his kingship. With the flute restored, Awele was able to claim his place as the rightful king of Umeri. His journey had been long and filled with challenges, but Awele had proven his worth and earned the respect and trust of his people. As he took his place as king, he vowed to lead with wisdom and compassion, honoring the legacy of his ancestors and the significance of the flute. And so, Awele's story became a legend in Umeri, a tale of perseverance, courage, and the importance of staying true to one's destiny. The flute continued to be a symbol of the king's rightful claim and the harmony that guided the future of Umeri. Thank you for watching this interesting story. Please subscribe to this channel and leave your notification button on for more stories like this. My name is Thank God, and this is SY Times.